Hey, this is Ray's Radio, and by listening today, you are helping me celebrate a huge milestone. I have been practicing in my private wellness boutique. I went into business for myself in 2011. I can't believe it. So I'm celebrating 13 years. I'm really excited with what I want to share to you about my experience with why I decided to stop teaching on social media. I did move into a private Telegram membership group, which you are very welcome to join. And all of my really super special teachings that cannot be found anywhere else are in there. And I also talk about how the wellness space has changed and just some of the really amazing things that I've been able to do since changing that about my practice this year. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And as always, I am very grateful to you. So as of this fall, September of 2024, I've been practicing in the wellness realm as a holistic nutritionist for 13 years. Lucky number 13. Woo! But this year, I'm not just celebrating how many clients came to journey with me. I'm celebrating deeper work. I'm celebrating that I didn't burn out this year. I'm celebrating that I was able to deepen my learnings as a spiritual medicine worker and celebrating that I could grow a supportive community even though I stopped teaching on social media. You know, success means many things to me, and this foundation of being able to choose where I go, what my life looks like day to day, and being able to have a foundation of deep self-care and walking the talk is something that I have always strived towards. When I stopped teaching on social media in June, it felt like a really big, scary leap to stop that familiarity of wearing the hat of being a content creator. I had been on social media since September of 2011 because as soon as I graduated from the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition, I was like, I need to be on social media. I need to teach people what I learned and so that they can find me and learn from me and book with me. I need to be in that space. So that had been a part of my identity for a long time, was that, you know, I was this voice of reason, this common sense nutritionist, this everyday nutritionist. I never, posted pictures of me on the beach with green smoothies. Like, I was very real world. And so I know people appreciated that of me. And it became one of the hats that I wear was, being this person in the sea of dangerous suggestions, polarizing arguments, and just the basic insanity and darkness that is social media. And so when I decided to leave, I was told by people like, but if you leave this space, less people will hear your message. And I heard that and it felt bad. But what felt worse was continuing in the drudgery of competing with this algorithm who literally punishes and rewards you. What felt worse was, waking up and looking at my screen, that my screens were constantly pulling me throughout the day. What felt worse was staying in these spaces just full of division and virtue signaling and hate and race-based ideologies instead of character-based, here's looking at you, woke culture. And what felt worse was spending hours of my day creating, thinking about what to create and putting out this content when I had a gut feeling that I could just be spending my time doing better things in the real world. Leaving social media was an easy and a hard decision. Now, when I say leaving, I mean I'm not posting all of my teachings and all of my content there anymore. And it was easier for me to make this decision when the meta crawlers said they were going to start slurping up everyone's content. And I just felt really, really uncomfortable around the truth and the darkness around my content literally being stolen and being able to be used by other people and probably other people to sell. That just really didn't feel right to me, and I really had to dig deep into my values in my business to understand if I'm going to be a spiritual space holder and teacher and guide for people, is this where I'm supposed to be? Do I want to keep giving my time and energy to this thing that isn't even real? Do I want to be in a space where myself and others are constantly being attacked and judged, hated on? And do I want to be, in a space that my teacher calls our phones soul suckers? Do I want to be in a space that is taking from me? And do I want to be in a space where I am being sent very terrible messages about the work that I'm doing? And just as an aside, if you think that there's something that I've done or said wrong, I've always been open with people. Just communicate with me. Be honest and communicate with me and tell me so we can talk it out. 98% of the time, it's a very simple misunderstanding or miscommunication. All sorts of strange and terrible things happened to me on the 13 years that I committed to social media, and when people would attack me and send me these terrible messages, I'm like, have you looked into me at all? Have you been following my content for weeks or months or years or a decade? Because if you think that I'm saying or doing something hateful, you don't know me. You don't know my heart. And you don't know my passion in the community and how many people I help and how many thousands of hours I have given to helping the health, wellness, and spiritual growth of the people around me. And so it became, it became an easy decision. Yes, I need to leave. And I can't tell people to be working on their social media addiction when I'm there posting 8 times a day. Right? It just became a conflict for me. And I know when you live in a place of integrity, if there's places I'm not welcome, I'll remove myself. That's okay. So in that, it was an easy decision. It was a hard decision in the people that message me that say, hey, I really miss seeing your posts. Hey, I really liked your content. I'm sad that I don't see it ever anymore. Right? That's what makes it hard. But that's why I stayed there. I'm like, I don't want to teach in this space, but I can still have a presence. People talk to me on Messenger still. I'm still available, right? I'm still there. I'm just not giving my whole self to that space anymore. I need time for me. I need downtime. When we're creatives, when we're artists, we have different schedules. We live life on a different time and a different timing frequency. Sometimes I need a 4-hour break in the afternoon to meditate, to veg out, to take a bath, take a walk. That doesn't make me a failure as a business owner. That makes me an artist, a creative who honors my body's needs and my energy levels. So that when I do come back to work at 6 p.m., I might work with crazy fire until midnight. But I can honor that. If I don't honor myself earlier in the day, then I won't be able to give myself that true creative fire time when it comes. And so since I've left teaching on social media, holy man, I've been able to take a suicide assist training, mental health first aid training. I've been asked to speak at early childhood conferences, Métis elders, diabetes prevention. I stepped up and joined the Junior Chamber, JCs in Kelowna. I'm the volunteer secretary. We have an amazing mission of development opportunities that empower people under 40 to create positive change in their communities. I love this organization. I've been able to commit to weekly learnings from medicine men and elders. I have a Cree carrier mentor and a Métis mentor that are medicine men that teach me, and I have the time and the space to take notes for hours and hours and listen and integrate it and live in that way, in the old ways. I've been able to be present for trips. When I go on trips, I don't have to think about, I need a photo of this, I need a photo of that. I just get to be present with my friends, with the places I'm at, the restaurants, and I just get to enjoy fully. I've been able to host more circles and ceremony and private events and sweats for myself, for my own self-care. I've been able to host more of this since June than I have in years past. And I know that that's because I have more space and capacity because I'm not giving of myself to social media. I've been able to stay really present and real for my clients and my writing. I have not felt any pressure to succumb to the new AI world. Everything I put out, podcasts or in-person sessions, it's all me. It's all my mind. None of it is come from a machine. I've added 20 podcasts to my roster. You're listening to one right now. Thank you so much. I have over 70 episodes. Like, wow. And I finished writing a book. I started writing my very first food hippie book. I started in 2016. And then I was able to finish it. I've had the space to do all of these things. And could I have done all this while still teaching online? Maybe. But probably not while feeling relaxed and calm and taking time to take care of myself. Like, I have clarity and I have more calm. So when people reach out to me and they're like, hey, I'm working on my social media time too, and I'm working on my screen addiction, I'm like, fuck yeah, it's going to change your life. I can't talk down about it. And I understand so much how it's amazing what technology has brought to us, to be honest. It is incredible. And I love all of the connections that I have through social media and through technology. But also, if there's one day where it just gets to a point where I give it all up, that would be okay. I wouldn't miss having to do 2-factor authentications ever again. I wouldn't miss that. In my 13 years, so much has changed. So much has changed. I never imagined that I would be doing the work that I'm doing now. I always knew that I was intuitive and I was doing deeper work for people than just my nutritionist hat, but I didn't know just how deep it was going to go. I didn't know how beautiful it was going to become and how many amazing people I was going to meet along the way. And I also could not have understood when I first started out, I had just big, wide eyes and long dreadlocks, and I was just ready to change the world with my nutrition knowledge. I've seen so much since then. The wellness space, the wellness sphere has really changed. It went from this, kind of still underground hippie stuff to, the kind of goop Gwyneth culture, needing to buy the products that TikTok tells you in order to be fully in wellness. And, about like having all the brand new tools and the brand new whatever and the trendy diets. And it kind of morphed into that. And so, it makes me think of that quote, counterculture is always ahead of the mainstream. And I think that really rings true here, because something that we brought more mainstream, like there was a huge influx of holistic nutritionists and people doing wellness work right at the era that I came in, 2011, 2012. It's wonderful to think of how, we helped move things forward and how people were more aware of what food was doing to their body and how certain foods were working for them or not. And getting them to think about, lifestyle recreation and lifestyle additions in order to help them truly and holistically and connect back to nature rather than just sitting on the couch all night. Those are very powerful things. But when we brought them to the mainstream, it shifts everything. Because then, of course, it becomes, well, how can all these companies provide services for these things that people they're not buying anymore, right? So for example, like 20 years ago, there was like 2 brands of yogurt, and now there's hundreds. And because people understand that yogurt is healthy for them, there's tons of brands of yogurt. But the trickery in it is that all of those brands of yogurt are not true traditional yogurt. So the market gets flooded with all of these things that people are like, oh yeah, that's so good for you. That's wellness. But it's not. It's just another product on the market that looks like it's fulfilling that need for you. There's so many more examples I could use. This flood of people coming in to this space. One of the problems that I hear a lot from the new holistic nutritionists I keep in touch with is there's just so many people that I'm competing with, and there's so many people that have these weekend certifications or month-long certifications, and they put a lot of, really polarizing content out there. And that's really hard. It's really hard to continue to be that voice of reason the other content pieces that are about, this is the only way, this is how you're going to fix that. I've got the answers and I'm the only one with the right answers. All that does is make people more lost because they're going to be following that carrot, right? Oh, this one. Oh, this one over here. Oh no, this one over here. It's really hard to maintain your ground and still say, out of all that noise, I really do have the answers because I'm going to help you look inside and do the work for yourself. And that can be scary for people. They would rather try quick fixes for years, decades before coming to you and committing to do the real work for their wellness. It's really challenging when we have so many unqualified and not even practitioners, but just people. I've seen a lot of people online who, they have different trainings, different certifications, but then things that are said or actions that are shown, that's not of that hat. And it gives it a bad rap. It gives it a bad rap. If there's people saying they're spiritual healers and yet they are unable to be honest, unable to be communicative, using words or phrases that suggest the internet is God, or trauma doesn't mean anything. You can heal it overnight with our speed healing. Just grab my wand, my electric energy frequency wand, and we'll just get you healed up really fast. Like those are all very damaging ideas that are now floating around, and they just give people that quick fix again. Oh, I just need to be doing this. Oh, I just need to be doing that. And so it makes the space really noisy. And then, of course, with the way the algorithm works, people that are noisier like that will get more attention than people who are saying, hey, it's a really big journey of you coming home to yourself. It's a journey of self-development, understanding rituals and practices over quick fixes and buying stuff online. It's not about that at all. Those people, their posts aren't going to get any traction because they're not exciting. They're not full of promises and likes like the posts that are guaranteeing that carnivore is the right way or that veganism is the only way to heal. And I just want to encourage you, that thing that you're like, yeah, I should probably work on that. Just start, just take one step forward. It did take me months before I decided to actually pull myself from social media. And I had been kind of ready and willing to do it for months beforehand because I already knew that I was moving that way. I knew that I wasn't moving to a place of being a digital teacher as much as I thought that was going to work for me. I knew that wasn't where I wanted to go as a human, and that the spiritual truths that I learned from my medicine teachers would not have allowed that. I'm not data. I'm supposed to be a human supporting my community. And so what I want to leave with you is just, if there is one thing, it doesn't have to be around social media or tech or screens, but if there is something that you're thinking, yeah, I should probably work on that. Yeah, just take one small step towards it. There's always going to be one thing that is a really powerful practice for you in your wellness. One thing that you can always do no matter what. So maybe that's, eating vegetables every day. Maybe that's taking a walk every day, taking your supplements if you're working on a supplement regimen right now. Whatever that one thing is, focusing on that one thing and always committing to that is a huge step because it allows us to understand what rhythm is supposed to feel like in our life. And when we have rhythm, it helps us to continue with these practices because we can see over time, because we've been committed to something for so long, we can see over time the compounding effects of taking this. I just said this to a client the other day. You can take a supplement for two weeks. You're probably not going to notice anything. But talk to me about it in 6 months, and I guarantee what you're going to be saying to me is different. It's not that the supplement is a healer. It's that the supplement is helping your body get to a place of balance where it can heal itself. That's what we're always working towards. That's been one of my biggest learnings in the last 13 years. Our body heals itself. We're just getting the conditions to help the body get to a place where it can do that. And that is so powerful. That is root cause work. And that is true holistic healing. That's what holistic means, is we're looking at all the pieces and then we're supporting what needs to be supported so we can get to the next level. So I wish you all the wellness in the world, and thank you so much, because as you were listening to this podcast, you were helping me celebrate 13 years. I am so honored that I get to do this work. I'm so honored that I get to talk to people about their wellness and help them make change and help them stick to the things that they really want to do. If you are seeking support, go to my website. I have an amazing giveaway on the main page of my website. What it's going to help you do is better understand your cravings, what those cravings are, and how to move through them. It's going to help you end the obsession mind games around food and dieting. Going to help you to learn how to pick food easily so you can just totally stop agonizing on whether or not you're doing it right. So I have a giveaway on my website, loosenutrition.ca. Head there now. You can grab this for free to help you make stress and overwhelm a thing of the past. I'm here for another 13 years and more. And I'm so grateful to do this work. This is my life purpose, food and healing. And I'm just so grateful to you for listening to me today.